Good evening. Welcome to Vibin with Ashley Live. I'm your host, Ashley Live. Thank you for joining me on this beautiful Saturday evening. I hope you guys are having a great weekend so far. And thanks for joining. It's going to be an awesome show tonight. We have Alex Slay. He is a singer, songwriter, pianist based in Nashville, and really excited to bring him in the room and introduce him to you. And Alex actually just joined, so I am going to invite him in. Hi, Hannah, Sosie, Victor. Hey, I hope you guys are having a great weekend. It's daylight savings time tomorrow, so we're going to lose an hour of sleep, but we're going to get more sun. So I'm all about that. All right, Alex, whenever you're ready, feel free to join. So while we're waiting for Alex to pop in the room, never mind, we're going to wait till he pops in the room. Alex! Hey, Alex, how are you?
Good.
Doing well. How are you? Hey, guys. Hello. How's it going over there?
Pretty good. There's kind of a lag. Can you hear me?
Awesome. Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, cool. Let me make sure.
Okay, cool. So I was just introducing you to the room, and I wanted to share a song there because that's how I start off every show.
Okay.
So the song I'm going to share with you and everybody else is in the room is actually from a Justin Timberlake song. I know you're heavily inspired by
I
him.
am, yes.
It's one of his more recent songs that I'm a huge fan of.
Okay.
It's called Say Something, the song with Chris Stapleton.
Yeah, that's
Awesome song. Awesome song. I think it's so simple. Like when I was reading the lyrics earlier, I'm like, they don't really say much during the song. It's just a really simple song,
Yeah.
but I love it.
Yeah,
Right?
it's very to the point. Like I think like they try to just get rid of any kind of metaphor or wordplay. They just said it as is, which I always love.
Yeah, it's awesome. Okay, so everyone knows all about my direction. And in my heart, somewhere, I want to go there. Still, I don't go there. Everybody says, say something that says something.
Mm.
What do those lyrics mean to you, Alex?
Say something. You said say something that says something?
Yeah.
I guess like as a musician, like I think it's our responsibility to like actually say something that's meaningful.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like it's fun to write songs that are just about like having a good time, but I think like any kind of artist with a platform should actually like bring up like actual issues, actual things that can actually help people. If that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
That means to me.
Yeah, I totally understand what you mean by that because I feel like as fans, when we listen to music, it's like I want to listen to something that I resonate with. I'm like, oh, I felt that way one time in my life, or I'm going through something difficult, and this is something that's bringing me through that.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Awesome. So it's March, which means it's Women's History Month.
Yes.
Tell us about a woman in your life who inspires you.
A woman in my life that inspires me. There's a lot. I mean, the biggest one would be my mom. If my mom's watching, hi mom.
Hi, Mom.
Because she's just shown me, like, I don't know. She's been the one that supported me with like music since day one, and she literally told me I think when I was like I don't know 10 or 11, like I can do whatever I want to, and she's gonna support me, which I think like is kind of a luxury because a lot of people, especially with what I decided to do with my life, a lot of parents like won't agree with that because of like they're not sure about like the stability of it all.
Right.
So my mom, she's one of the strongest people I know for sure.
Oh, that's wonderful. And it's so good that you had a supportive mom because
Yeah.
I know a lot of musicians and they're like, yeah, everybody tells me not to do this. Like, I won't make money. Like, why am I chasing this crazy dream? But I love that your mom
Yeah, it's a luxury for sure.
yeah, was such a huge supportive person in your life because
Hmm.
it's when you have a strong support system, it just helps you get that much further in life.
Exactly.
Hmm.
So true.
So let's start from the beginning. Who inspired you to get into music and how old were you?
Oh God. Who inspired me to do music? That's a hard one. So I started like really getting into it. Like I kind of I started late. I started like my freshman year of high school.
Hmm.
So I was listening to actually when I started, it was more like actually rock music because I was raised on rock and I was really into like pop punk music. Like that was
Nice.
kind of where I started, which is really funny of where I'm at now.
Yeah.
But what was a good song? Linkin Park was probably one of the biggest ones for a long time, which is really interesting because it's completely parallel to what I do now. But it's funny actually. Me and my roommate Danny were like jamming to it yesterday, and like I didn't realize like how much of that music I really knew.
Yeah.
But inspiration. There's a lot. That's a tough question. I don't know. Like I said, like I started when I was in high school, so I was like 14, and I started playing piano before I even sang. So
Mhm.
yeah.
What got you into piano first?
Honestly, do you know the song Linkin Park? Actually, the song "What I've Done." It came
Yeah.
out like it was on the first Transformers movie. This is actually a funny story. I've never said this, but there's a part in it where you have to play with both hands. And like the way I kind of started was through a dare. Someone basically said like I or like a bet. They said like I bet you can't play this with like both hands.
Really?
Yeah, that's kind of actually how it started because then I was like, all right, fine, and then I got it like fairly quickly, and it was like the first thing that like really I got quickly because everything else I've been kind of like a little behind on. So that was the first thing like I just kind of did it after like 10 minutes, and I was like, oh, this is interesting. And I just started like going on YouTube and like learning tutorials and like I just discovered that I actually had like a pretty decent ear
Yeah.
and like that's how I started and like the reading music part like came later so I kind of did self-taught and then I had like a couple lessons but it started there.
I love that. Like,
Started with the bet. Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
I think it's just funny how you like accidentally popped into it and you're like, I kind of love this.
Yeah. I immediately fell in love with it. Like I remember when I got like my first keyboard, it was like this little like Walmart one, and my mom would say like I'd be in there sometimes like all day, sometimes all night, and I would just be like playing. And I was horrible when I started. Oh, I was so bad. But they let me just get through it, and yeah, I love it.
Yeah. But practice makes perfect. So nobody's good
Yes.
at anything first start. It's like a bicycle. Like everybody's scared to ride a bike and like maybe you fall a couple times, maybe you
Hmm.
know, great on your first shot, but like once you do it, you're like, I got this.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, it takes time, and like that's what I tell anyone who's like saying like, oh, like I want to do this, but like I'm not good enough yet. I'm like, you just have to keep doing it. Like
Yeah.
I've been doing this for I don't know almost 8 9 years now, and I'm like just now like in myself like I'm like okay, I kind of know what I'm doing now. Like it takes time, but
Hmm.
I encourage anyone to do it because
Yeah.
anyone can do it. Just have a
Yeah.
passion for it.
You just honestly have to believe in yourself. You have to be passionate about it and you need to put the work in because it's not like Adele woke up one morning and she was on the radio. I mean, the voice is something else.
It's
And
out of
she,
this world.
yeah, so it's like you have to put that time in and just follow your passion. I love that.
Definitely. Yeah.
What's your creative process like?
Ooh. It varies. You mean like with like songwriting and stuff, like the way I
Yeah,
operate usually?
yeah.
So I think I like now I kind of have more of a system. So I,
Mhm.
I usually starts with melody before anything. Like I am a sucker for a good melody, and if I get like a good idea, it goes right into my voice memos. And sometimes like I can work on it that day, or I'll like record it, and I'll
Yeah.
come back to it like weeks later, or I'll find like a lyric I like, and I'm like, oh, this would be perfect. But it usually starts with a voice memo, and then I try to write like a hook. That's like the
Mhm.
first thing I always do because I feel like the hook is the most important part of the song. It's part that everybody hums, part that everybody knows.
Right.
And what's cool about where I'm at now, me and my roommate Danny just moved into this house, who is also an artist and producer, and then another guy just moved in named Will, who is also an artist and producer. So like literally today, we've just been going like up and down the stairs, like to each other's rooms and like working on music.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's been really good. Sorry, I went off track.
No, it's
The
fine.
I start with the melody, I do the words, and then I kind of build like an actual track. I get the ideas, and then I get like better musicians to come in and make my ideas happen. Because like I know this, and that's it. I don't know any other instrument other than this.
So you prefer to bounce ideas off of other
Oh
musicians?
yeah, for sure. I believe like whenever you're creating something, like it needs to be a collective effort.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it's there's a word for it called super producing. It's when you get like more than like it shouldn't just be yourself. I don't feel like, because sometimes it's good to have multiple perspectives in a song, or like different types of things like you're not going to hear that someone else is going to hear that might actually be perfect for the song. So like I'm a huge person when it comes to like collaborating with other people.
Yeah, I think that's important too, because
Yeah.
it's just, yeah, because you're like, oh, I look at it this way. And
Mhm.
then you bring one of those guys and they're like, oh, but what if you do this?
Exactly. And it also gives people a chance to like put their own like spin on something I'm doing. Like I like when people like have the freedom to do what they want to do with it. Like, because
Mhm.
I know sometimes you go into a session, people say played exactly like this, no different, and that's
Right.
it. And I'm kind of like, this is kind of the idea, but I want you to have like a piece of yourself in this. That's how I do anything, whether it be music, artwork for it, visuals, like all that stuff. Like I like it to be collective.
I like that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Because I ask that question a lot. Some people like to do their own thing, and then some people are hesitant to collab. But you're right. Like when you have three or four different people looking at it and they all give their perspective, you're just like, oh, I didn't think of it that way. But I like the suggestion.
Exactly.
I don't like that suggestion. I'm not going to do
Mhm. Yeah,
it.
exactly. Like you have to be open to that, because I feel like that's what brings you to that other level. Is like you have to be with people that do it. Like
Right.
you have to surround yourself with people that are better than you, which is what I try to do all the time. I like to be like the weakest one in the room always.
Yes. I love that
Just so
quote.
I
Like,
can like learn.
yes.
Yeah.
That quote about like if you're in a room, wait, I'm gonna say it wrong. Like if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. I love that quote, and I
Mhm.
that made me think of it when you said it, because I was like,
Mhm.
yes, like you always want to be people who are creative and like pushing you, and because yeah, if you're the smartest person, like what do you do?
Exactly. It's like what else do you have to do? Like I believe in like just not settling. Like
Right.
there's always something to learn. There's always some way to grow. And the
Yeah.
second you think you know everything, you're done. Like that's it.
Yeah. And you always want to continuously push yourself as a creative person, whether you're an artist, a musician, rapper, like whatever you do, like you always want to be pushing that bar because there's greatness out there, and just push and push and push and have
Exactly.
goals.
And that's the whole thing, is like, especially now, like if I just decided I'm like the best now, I'm 25. Like I have my whole life where I could have just like learned more and more. Like I think even when I'm gonna be like 50, I'm still gonna be like, what else can I do? What else can I learn? So that's
Yeah.
what I feel like that's what this is about. It's just
Yeah, you have to be continuously learning,
Mhm.
whether you're creative or not, because it's like sometimes people just go to their job and they're like, okay, I don't love my job, but like I'm just kind of doing the same thing every day. And it's like, no, push yourself, like do
Exactly.
something, go for a better job
Hmm.
or do something that you like, and you have to be continuously learning.
Exactly.
I love that. How would you describe the music you create?
um, that question has changed. That answer has changed pretty much every year. It's something
Yeah,
different.
yeah.
Now, like the stuff that I am making now, I hate using genres, but
Doesn't have to necessarily have to be a genre, just like a couple adjectives or like sounds like or a mixture of.
adjectives. I love okay. I love like timeless sound. So I my kind of goal is like anyone who listens to any of my music, I want them to like not know like when it was from, if that makes sense. Like I'm a huge fan of like 70s and 60s music. I think it was some of the greatest music ever.
Yeah.
I'm also a fanatic on like live instruments. I like a little bit of electronic, but I like to mix it up. And a good example of it actually is Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak's new song that just came out, because that
Yes.
like they brought that all the way back to the 70s, and me and my roommate were like what like listening to it, and we freaked out because it's just
Yeah.
like it's just the perfect balance. Like I just love that timeless music. So I would say like timeless soul R&B. I don't know. You decide. That's kind of where I'm at with it.
Yeah. I love that when you said like 60s and 70s, because good music is timeless. And
It
sometimes
is.
you like an Anderson .Paak song, right? Like Anderson .Paak is a legendary musician, and just
One
no
of
one
them.
sounds like him. No
Hmm.
one.
No
But
one.
when you hear it, you're just like, ooh, like that. I could be listening to that in the '70s. Like that could
Hmm.
be like the funk record from the '70s I'm listening to.
Yeah, and that was kind of the thing that I was hesitant on for a while about making that kind of music, and then I was like, oh, there it is. Because with my first album, um, it was kind of just like an eclectic album because like I had no idea who I was as an artist. I had all these different songs, and I just wanted to record them, and I wanted to keep them in the style that I imagined them as when I wrote them. So each
Hmm.
song almost has like its own genre, and looking back on that, like it's kind of cool to see how in a way it all kind of worked out, but seeing how my sound is so different now, like the stuff I'm creating now that no one's heard yet is like completely different from anything else I've done.
Hmm.
But I've loved that journey of like figuring that out and like realizing it's okay to not know.
Yeah, it's the evolution of an artist. And I think that's a
Hmm.
very natural thing because think of like Michael Jackson, like the
Mm,
stuff he did when he was a kid, and then his albums as a solo artist. It's like, okay, you have the same sound, but it's like it's constantly evolving as a musician, and that's
exactly.
so
And I think it needs to. I think like another example of Bruno Mars, like every album he does is completely different
yeah,
because he basically reinvents his sound, which I think is super important because it just adds variety. It shows that you can do more than just one thing. That's
exactly.
what I'm also trying to do. So
Yeah, because artists evolve, but so do their fans. So it's
exactly.
like, were you the same person 6 months ago? No. So
No,
like, we're all evolving together.
exactly.
So let's talk about some of your influences. I know Justin Timberlake's one, Alan
Huge,
Stone, Stevie
huge.
Wonder, Paak. Um, why these artists?
I think it goes back to just that timeless sound. Like it's something I've always been drawn to. Like Alan Stone's another. He was probably one of the first people that I listened to, and I was just like,
Yeah,
"Wow, this is a different level."
right.
Another artist that I don't think I had in there was Lucky Daye. I found him God a year and a half ago,
Hmm.
and he's another example. Like honestly, one of the greatest R&B albums I've ever heard, hands down, because his producer D Mile just took so many different risks with it. Like it wasn't like your normal R&B. Like he tried all these things that no one would dare try, and
Hmm.
it worked. And like he added like live instruments and all this like '70s and '60s like influence that I was obsessed with. I think I've listened to that album at least 200 times, and that's not an exaggeration because I just love it that much.
And that's awesome when an album can touch you like that,
Yeah.
right? Because when you think of just like listening to an album front to back, whether it's a CD, an album, like a Spotify
Mhm.
stream, you don't really listen to every single song. You're like, okay, I don't really like those three songs.
Yeah, it's hard to find a full album. I think that's why so many artists now are focused on just like releasing singles because they know
Yeah.
like people don't listen to albums anymore, which sucks.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of like you see it, like you see how someone releases a project and doesn't do that well, but they do a single and it just does so much better.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with the whole single
Yeah,
thing. Singles, it's like one song, whereas like an album, it's like, oh, it's 12 songs, but like, do you like all 12 songs? Or
exactly. Yeah,
a album like, not that great.
exactly.
So what other musicians inspire you? I know you said like 60s and 70s music. Let's bring it back. Tell me who.
Who else? So Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, Teddy Pendergrass. Even like if you go even farther back, like the Temptations.
Yeah.
Like I'm also obsessed with like strings. So like
Hmm.
any kind of, I'm a sucker for a string arrangement.
Yeah.
Who else? There's so many. These are hard questions.
Supposed to be hard though.
I know. There's just it's hard to choose like my favorites because it also changes like depending on where I'm at or like what kind of sound I'm trying to create. Like I said, I've everything from like Linkin Park to the Temptations. Like it depends on
Mhm.
what I'm feeling.
And Linkin Park, like I want to bring it back to Linkin Park
Mhm.
because Linkin Park was huge. Like huge. Like you could not get away from them. They were on MTV all the time. They were
Yep.
constantly streamed on radio stations. And you know, it's so sad to hear what actually happened.
Yeah, that was
It was crazy because
that was crazy. Sorry.
we all grew up with them. Like they were
I
such a big
know.
part of and it's like, oh my God, I love that song. And like, you can name probably like 5 or 6 Linkin Park songs that were on the radio that were doing well
Oh
at the
yeah,
time.
they were all doing amazing. And I
Mhm.
think I remember when that happened, like I was honestly a little devastated because the first time I heard that record, like I was in fifth grade.
Yeah.
It probably wasn't the best album for me to listen to at that age, but like I really resonated with a lot of it. And to like have that happen, yeah, that was a
Yeah.
lot.
So who would you like to collaborate with?
Ooh, it's another good one. Um, Anderson .Paak, that'd be pretty
Yeah,
sick.
definitely.
Lucky Daye, pretty much anyone that I told you about, like I would collab with.
Yeah.
Like Alan Stone, Mac Ayres is another one. He's a R&B dude from California. He's like around my age too. So him. Who else? Victoria Monet. That's
Yeah.
another big one. Top of that list would probably Ariana Grande, but that's just pipe dream.
Hey, it could happen. You never know. You can
Hey, you never know.
shoot your shot. So, what's your favorite song to perform and why?
Hmm. Um, I really do enjoy playing my latest one, Cherry
Mhm.
Wine.
Yeah.
'Cause that was like the first song that I released and I felt like 100% about. What I mean by that was with the first album, like I was really unsure about a lot of it because I wasn't sure like what people were gonna think.
Right.
But it was the first song that I released that I was like, this is who I want to be as an artist. Was that song?
Hmm.
So probably that one. I'll also like I haven't done a lot of shows because of COVID, but
Yeah.
I've only done that song like maybe a couple times live, including
Hmm.
I'll do it for you later. But probably that one. And
Hmm.
then a lot of the new stuff I've been writing that I can't really talk about. But
It's
yeah,
a secret.
it's a secret. It's a secret.
But if you follow Alex,
If you follow
if
me,
you follow Alex, which I highly recommend everybody that's watching do right now, you'll know when the new stuff comes out.
mhm.
So, what artists or genres of music have you been listening to during quarantine?
During quarantine,
Yeah.
a lot of Lucky Day,
Yeah.
Anderson .Paak. Actually, let's check. I have my list right here. There's one song I was listening to like at least 10 times. I've been listening to the Silk Sonic, Bruno Mars Anderson .Paak song like religiously.
Yeah.
Another great one, Bren Joy. He's another guy from Nashville. Incredible voice, incredible arranger, like spot on. SZA,
Hmm.
John Lindahl, Michael Jackson. Her's another great artist. What else? I also just listen to a lot of my friends' music because
Hmm.
I like a lot of my friends' music. So like my roommate Danny Polo, he just
Uh,
released a track yeah or 2 days ago called Truth, and it's one of my favorites he's done. My guy Landon Sears, like there's a lot.
mhm. I always like to ask people that because the thing is like some people are like, "Oh, I went back to like the 70s and I like streamed, the Rolling Stones." I'm like, "That's good
Yeah,
though." You know what I mean? Like we have all this time, so I
yeah,
always ask people that question because I'm also always looking for good music and then people tip me off and they say, "Oh yeah, this or that." And so I'm definitely taking notes and definitely
for
going to check out
sure.
what you just said. So you're originally from Florida and you
I am.
currently live in Nashville. When did you move to Nashville and why?
So I moved to Nashville last February. So like
Okay.
literally right before
Right.
COVID. But we actually had a tornado here in East too, which was also right before. I don't know if you remember that on the news.
I do remember that. That was crazy.
Yeah, that was like 4 weeks into when I moved.
Wow.
So I moved because it was just time. Like I was doing cruise ships before. That's how I made a living before everything.
Mhm.
And I did my last contract. It was a 7 month one. And during it, I kind of started like getting into production and like realizing like, okay, I'm gonna find like, cause I always told myself like I wanted to be in Nashville because before the cruises, I would visit Nashville. It's where I recorded my first album. Shout out Gabe Klein and Gideon Klein.
Mhm.
Um, and when I was there, like it was just the most home I've ever felt. And I've been like a lot of places. I've been all over the States. I've been to Japan. I've been to the UK. And it was just like one place that I just fell in love with, and I knew like one day I was gonna move there. And then after that last contract, I was like, all right, we're gonna do this. And I packed all my stuff and I moved out here. And then COVID happened right after.
The timing.
Oh, the packing was amazing. Luckily, I fit everything in my car, and it's just like a little
Yeah.
Hyundai Sonata. Like it's not a big car.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess it's got to be so weird to move to a new city and then all of a sudden everything shuts down a month later.
Yeah, it was surreal. I remember just like watching over the news, and like we didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal, and
Yeah,
here we are now.
I
So
know.
yeah,
Well,
Mar-
hopefully we'll come back to normal soon and
I hope so.
music because Nashville is huge for music.
It's massive, and that was the thing. Like as soon as I got here, I did like one or two shows, and from those shows, like I booked a lot after, and I was like, oh wow, like this is gonna be awesome. And then just one by one, like postponed, canceled, and it was. I think it was a good thing though too, because I feel like everyone was just going, and this is just world in general. Like everyone was just going so fast.
Yeah.
And yes, COVID has been like a really hard time on everyone, but I thought it was also in a way kind of a blessing, just the fact that we could slow down and like really rethink things. Like I know people that like quit their jobs and like found something they're actually passionate about, and they're doing that now.
Yeah.
So I think it was in a way like kind of just like just a pause, like just a time to relax and just really figure out like what you wanted, because there's just a lot of time to think and really, I don't know, just go
Yeah.
back and yeah.
I definitely think that, like, I have those conversations with people all the time. It's like the universe was like, stop, everyone stop what you're
Literally,
doing.
yeah,
Do you want to live where you're living? Are you happy with what you're doing? Do you like the people you're living with? And all these other questions they're asking you, right? And you're just like,
exactly.
okay, well, I'm just like in the house, stuck here with my thoughts. What do I do with it all?
Yeah, it was just a time to like reevaluate, I
Yeah,
think, in a way. Yeah.
definitely. If you could change anything about the music industry, what would it be and why?
Hmm. That that is a good question. Probably the fact that there's a lot of people like within the industry that get a lot of credit for like not really doing anything. Like I think the fact that, you know, like most artists that are signed like can't have their masters. I find that really interesting. The fact that it's something that you created and they own it somehow. But that's why like I'm really hesitant when it comes to like labels,
Yeah.
because like I know too many people that have gotten just, now I'm not saying it's all bad, but like I just know a lot of people that have gotten burned in those situations like really badly. But I would just change the way it's run in general. Like
Mm.
I feel like it's more about the whole package of like the image you're selling and all this stuff, and it's less about the music. That's why I was so excited with the Bruno Mars track, because it was about the music and it wasn't just like a four chord song that you just heard
Right.
everywhere. Like it was like the first time I like heard like music and like being kind of in the mainstream, which I'm hoping like that kind of starts something.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to be more about the music than like the image and like the money and all that it's kind of about right now.
Yeah, I completely.
And I'd change about it.
Yeah, and I think Anderson .Paak is one of those musicians where it's like nobody sounds like him. No
No,
one.
no one does, and
And
he's
it's
very
crazy.
very
You don't hear him on top 40 radio.
yeah. That's the thing that always has bugged me. But I feel like with this thing that's happening with him now, I think there's a good chance of it happening. And like I don't know, I just like miss music.
I know, me too. I definitely miss music. What song do you wish you wrote and why?
Oh man, probably I'd say Sunday Morning, Maroon 5. It's one of my favorite songs.
Mm, yeah, it's a great song.
That one or I Can Make You Love Me, Bonnie Raitt. Those
Oh,
those are some good good songs.
yes. Oh, I love your picks. Love them. What is something people would be surprised to know about you?
Hmm. I think that's a hard one. I'm really quiet in person. You're probably getting that now how we're talking, but like I think people like hear my music and they think I'm like some type of way, and then they meet me and they're just kind of like interesting. Something that would surprise people. I don't know. I'm not really like. I just, I don't know. Just me.
You're just a little quiet.
Yeah. I'm super quiet, and it takes a minute. Like, but it's weird because like with music and like being on stage, like I'm a completely different person. It's the one place that I can just go crazy. Honestly, like I do weddings in New Orleans, and like I'll do those, and I'll be jumping around and
Yeah.
going crazy. But like in real life, I'm just this.
Good though, and I find that with a lot of artists, like there's this persona that people have on stage, and then
Mhm.
when they're off stage, they're just like for instance, like Michael and Janet Jackson, right? Like when
Mhm.
they used to do interviews, they were like they would talk like a mouse, and you're like,
Yeah,
what? I see you on stage and performing these songs, and you're
belting
like,
it out. Yeah.
hi, and you're like, wait, what?
Like, what? I mean, with that, it's also just like good vocal health. Like if you're singing, like it's good just to be
Right.
quiet. Yeah. But yeah,
So
that's really interesting. I didn't know that.
yeah, it is very interesting. What's next for you? EPs, live streams, collaboration?
Next for me is probably at least two singles in the
Okay.
next couple months, and then I'm focusing on an EP for the summer. Maybe a music video, one or two.
Very.
Um, Really, it's just I feel like this year is the finally that I can like build the foundation because I know now like what like who I am as an artist and like what I want to convey in this next project, and that took a long time to figure that out. So
Hmm.
now that I have that, it's just a matter of doing it, and the fact that I have lived with two other producers, so I
Yeah.
don't have to like drive anywhere. We can literally just collab.
Yeah.
I would say like what's next for me is just like building the foundation of what I'm going to be doing.
Awesome. So, guys, if you didn't catch it earlier, please make sure to follow Alex because he has a lot of good stuff coming up. And I love the fact that you live with people that are creative too. So it's kind of like, oh, hey, what do you think?
Exactly, yeah, and they'll be honest. They'll be like, "No, that sucks." I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna go back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to it.
Love it. What's the best advice you've ever been given?
Um, there's probably two. I kind of touched on it earlier with just like never settling.
Hmm.
Thing. Um, and also like I'm thinking about this. These are good questions. Never settling. Being kind is a big one. I know it's kind of like cliche, but like you'd be surprised like what just being kind to someone would do. Who's that? Oh, hi, thank you. Um, if we're doing interviews, you just lose train of thought. Just like,
No, I mean.
um, never settling and don't take things too personally. I feel like, especially in this industry, like if you don't have like a little bit of thick skin, like you're gonna get your feelings hurt a lot.
Yeah.
So like when you're in like a write with someone or someone like will give you, because like one thing I actually love, like I love honest feedback. That's why when I send something to someone and they're like, oh, I love it, and like it's not nowhere near done, I'm just kind of like, I'm not gonna send you anything else because you're just gonna tell me what I want to hear.
Yeah.
So I would just say like not take things too personally and never settling. Like always find something that you can improve on.
Hmm.
That's kind of, and that's just not just a music thing. Like I do that. Like I live by that.
That's good though. I think I mean it's good to have that foundation where, you know, and being honest, like you said, like you want the honest feedback. Most people can't take honest feedback, but like you like I was reading something the other day about Kanye West, how he always had people around him that said, yes, that's good, yes, that's good. And it's like, no, you want those people that are like, no, what the heck? Those Yeezys are ugly. Which they are. Most of them are ugly. So it's like I don't know how they're selling for as much as they are, but
They're not
you
that bad.
yes all the time. Like you have to have those people in your life. They're like, nah, that's not good. That's not a good look for you.
Exactly. Yeah, and you need those people that are going to keep you grounded. Like I
Right.
feel like a lot of people, like you said, like they're surrounded by yes men, and it's just like their head gets so big and just yeah. I think
And it's
that's
not It's just you're being honest. It's just like,
Yeah.
oh, like just giving you some constructive feedback. You can take it, you don't need to take it, but I'm not going to be the best
And
guy.
that's what's so interesting. Like, I feel like honesty nowadays is mistaken as just being like mean, which I think,
Yeah.
I don't know when that happened, but it's like, because I know a lot of people that like if you give them an opinion, like they can't take it, and that's why like I don't know. I don't know when that happened, but I don't know why honesty became like a bad thing.
No, honesty is good.
Hmm.
I mean, as long as it comes from a good place. Like some people are like mean and ill-willed. No, don't do that. Just be honest and be like, hey, I'm not trying, you know, be mean, but this is just the situation.
Exactly.
What advice would you give to other musicians during this quarantine?
Um, During the quarantine,
Yeah.
keep creating. I think this is the time. Like, I remember so many people thought like, oh, like the music industry is done and like all this other stuff, but like it's a perfect time to just like kind of go back to the drawing board and like reevaluate everything that you want to do. Keep creating. Keep finding ways to get your music out there because like there's still like we have all of this. Like you can still like submit to like playlists and you can
Definitely.
still do live streams and shows. TikTok is one of the biggest lucrative things I think for musicians right now, which is
Definitely.
funny. I literally just started doing it, so I'm kind of kicking myself about that. But I started. I'm on there now.
Yeah.
But I would just say like just keep going, keep creating and do what you think is best. Because like yes, it's good to have people's opinions and like give feedback, but like at the end of the day, like if you're not happy with it, don't do it.
I love that. I think that's so important.
Yeah, because like if you release something and you're like, oh, I can't stand this, but whatever, and you release it, it's gonna bug you forever. But like
Right.
I think that's why like I'm so picky with my stuff. Like I have to love it to release it.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, like be true to yourself. Like if you don't love it yourself, like why would you want to put your name on it?
exactly.
So for people watching this right now, Alex, how can they support you as a musician?
Stream my music, Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud, Tidal, whatever you got. Um, got a YouTube channel. Um, you can send me money. I have a Venmo app. Just kidding. Don't do that.
No, you could do it. I have no problem.
No, it's okay.
Put your Venmo in there and I pin it. I
I
don't have a
mean,
problem.
okay, if you want, like, if you go on my Spotify, there's like a little Cash App link. You
Okay.
can. You don't have to. That was a joke. Um, I don't know. Like, you could also. I feel like the best way, honestly, for people to discover music, other than just like sharing it, is also just like talk to people about it.
Yeah.
Like I've noticed, like whenever I find like an artist that I love, like I'll do anything about. Like I'll actually go out of like, I'll go talk to them and be like, hey, like you have to go listen to this, and I'll like send them music, and I'll like bug them like, did you listen to it? See how good that was? But also just word of mouth. I feel like that's like the best way. If you want, you don't have to. I'm always weird about like what you can do to help me.
Oh,
Just
but I like that because I think it's important because the thing is, right, it's such a weird time. And so we
it is.
can't like actually go to shows and see you guys in person perform for us. So I like to say like, hey, because yes, some people are trying to get their YouTube followers up or their
Mhm.
TikTok
Yeah,
followers, or they do live streams every week. And it's like, and sometimes people feel weird asking for Venmo or asking for it, but guess what? Like, just do it. Because
you're
I
right.
mean, if there's 200 people watching and 10 people donate, like, okay, like that's good. Like I know it's a weird thing for people to be like, oh, donate to my Venmo, but like
Yeah.
just say it and like, you know,
All right. All right. All
you
right.
never know what happens.
You're right. That's very true. You're right. You're right.
So I know you just said this, but tell everybody how they can find you, where they can find you on all your social media platforms.
On my social media, you can find me on Instagram, Alex Slay Music, Facebook, Alex Slay Music, Twitter, Alex Slay Music. Um, I'm on Snapchat. I don't really use it though.
I don't think
TikTok, Alex Slay.
yeah.
The TikTok's Alex Slay Music. You can find my music at Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud, Tidal, Amazon. Pretty much anywhere you can find music, like you can find my music. That made sense. Yeah, that's it. Oh, I have a website. If you want to check that out, alexslay.com.
Yes.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
thank
Well,
you.
that's all the questions that I have for you, but you are going to perform some tunes for us. So take
Yeah,
it
I shall. Is that still a good level? Fantastic. Thank you all for watching, by the way. I don't even know who's on here. I haven't even looked. Who's on here? Oh, Lexi's on here. What's up? My brother's on here. Michael. Wow, I haven't seen you in a minute. Jacob, yeah. Steph. My mom is on here. There she is.
Oh, hi, Mom. I hope she heard what you said earlier.
Hey, I tell her all the time. She knows. All right. Yeah, we'll do this one first. I'm noticing that every time like I get away from the screen though, it starts going dark. So I hope it doesn't turn off while I'm over here. We'll see what happens.
Okay. We'll play by ear.
This song is called Cherry Wine. I released it back in May. Like I said, it was the first song I did that I was like, this is me as an artist. So here you go. Honestly, it's getting hard to breathe without you right here, right next to me. I'm slipping away. Searching for a little company. Pick your poison, tell me what you need. I'm slipping away. Now my cup to fill it back up. Don't know how I got so caught up, thinking we still had that real love. Pour me a drink, a shot, a toast to us. Now my cup to fill it back up. Told myself I didn't need ya, thinking we still had that real love. But for what? Forget about you in the morning. Until then I keep on pouring. Cherry wine, damn I know I'm losing for. Self-medicated hypnosis. Faded in, I'm faded out. Getting blurry, where am I right now? Drink it till my lungs drown. Velvet lips paired with the coldest stare. See right through me, strip me down. Barely hanging on now. Barely hanging on now. Now my cup to fill it back up. Don't know how I got so caught up, thinking we still had that real love. Pour me a drink, a shot, a toast to us. Now my cup to fill it back up. Told myself I didn't need ya, thinking we still had that real love. But for what? Forget about you in the morning. Until then I keep on pouring. Every wine, damn I know I'm losing focus. Self-medicated hypnosis. Forget about you in the morning. Until then I keep on pouring. Cherry wine, damn I know I'm losing focus. Everyone around has noticed. They noticed in the morning. Forget about you in the morning. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
Yes, that was Cherry Wine for those of you who did not know.
Thank you. Yeah, that was bad. That was all right.
It was awesome. Thank you.
Of course, thank you.
And you have another one as well?
Yes. Oh, thank you. Moon and Stars. lush falsetto. I appreciate that. Yes. What should I do? Who's here? Sorry, I just saw someone pull up into our driveway. I'll do a bit more of an upbeat one for y'all to leave on a high note, if you will. Okay, that works. My bad. There we go. All right. So this is a song, actually from the first album. It's called Weightless. I'm sure people on here know what that is. Whoever is on here, yeah. But this was like one thing about this song that I loved was we got to do all live instruments. So we did like a string arrangement, we did horns, we did a choir. Like it was huge. I'm just gonna play it on keys, so hopefully it does it justice. But we're gonna give this one a shot. I haven't done this one in a long time, so bear with me. Should I remember it? All right. Here we go. Boy, where you going, carrying all that weight? It's time to let go. Separate, keep your head up high and make your own way. But forgive yourself and your past mistakes. But it takes time, it takes patience. Gotta learn to love with what you have. But keep in mind, stay elevated, so one day you can make your way back. I wanna feel weightless, ain't nothing gonna drag me down. Weightless, won't carry pain around. Weightless, I'm rising up from the ground. I'm feeling higher than ever. Good days about to get better. Better make your mind up, keep that grind up. Get up, get out, get down. Time is a wasting, pick up your pace and break the shackles, hit the ground. You ain't under no lock or key, but you gonna know when you're finally free. But it takes time, it takes patience. Gotta learn to love with what you have. But keep in mind, stay elevated, so one day you can make your way back. I wanna feel weightless, ain't nothing gonna drag me down. Weightless, won't carry pain around. Weightless, I'm rising up from the ground. I'm feeling higher than ever. Good days about to get better. Weightless, I'm weightless. I wanna feel weightless, ain't nothing gonna drag me down. Weightless, won't carry pain around. Weightless, I'm rising up from the ground. I'm feeling higher than ever. Good days about to get better. Probably forgot the bridge of that song, but I tried.
It was awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So guys, if you have any questions for Alex, please feel free to put them in the comments section below.
Anybody? Maybe? Oh, thank you so much. Colette? I don't want to say your name wrong.
It's Colette, yeah.
Colette. Thank you so much, Colette. Thank you. I don't think we have any questions.
It's a little bit delayed, so I'd like to give it like a good 30 to 45 seconds.
Really?
If you could learn any instrument, which one would it be?
Ooh, that's going to be a tie between the drums and the bass. So my brother plays drums, and I've always loved the bass. Actually, my roommate Will is a bassist, and he is ridiculous. So I think he might teach me a little bit. So like I think bass would be the next one I really want to mess with. You can learn. Where would you like to perform after COVID? Anywhere. I'm not picky. It's funny, like even during COVID, like I do have a show. It's my first show. um, on April 30th, and it's in Nashville. It's at an actual venue.
Cool.
And the goal is to like finish all of this new music I'm doing for that gig. But what's your songwriting process? I usually start with a melody. It's funny, sometimes I get them like as soon as I don't know if anyone has this, like you're sleeping and you'll get a melody, and then the whole time
Yeah.
you're in a dream, you're like, please don't forget this melody. Like wake up and record it. And the one thing is like your voice is pretty awful in the morning. So I have like a lot of voice memos of me just being like trying to hear like melody.
Yeah.
But it starts with the melody, and then I either build the music first, and then I figure out how the music makes me feel, or like what I see, and then I write the song about whatever I see. That's the way I usually do it. I'm very visual when it comes to like songs, so I kind of write it from like a music video standpoint. So hopefully, when I can, I'll make the music video about the song.
Definitely. Do you have any favorite restaurants in Nashville that you've ordered from during COVID?
Oh, big one for us is Dino's. It's kind of, I guess the equivalent of it would be like In-N-Out for people in California, but I think Dino's is better. Sorry. Um, that place opened like late, so like we honestly might go there later today. Dino's is a big one. There's a place I just tried called like Smoke and Thighs, and that place is ridiculous. I had some of the best. They had like this bacon wing mac and cheese, and it was
What?
yeah, it was heaven sent. It was ridiculous.
Wait, what's the name of the restaurant?
I think it was called Smoke and Thighs. I'm pretty sure.
Smoke?
Like smoke. It's like smoking thighs.
Smoke and Thighs. Okay. Oh, that sounds so good.
It was really, really nice. I enjoyed it.
I know.
would definitely come to New York. I love New York. I was actually just there. Like,
oh, you were?
I was, yeah.
Where were you in New York?
I was in Long Island, and then I was in Brooklyn for a little bit visiting friends.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. Anybody else?
I love it. Do you ever have visions for music videos while writing, or usually afterwards?
It's usually during. Like I don't know. I want like music for me is like not just like hearing it. Like I see it. I want to like just embody it, if that makes any sense. So I kind of look at music from like a cinematic way. Like that's how I do. That's why I want to do a lot of the music videos I do. But usually, like as I'm writing it, like I want the visual to make sense.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a perfectionist with that kind of stuff.
So, do you have a bunch of voice memos in your phone that you haven't gotten to yet?
There. Oh, I already told you this, but this is actually my friend's phone. Shout out Danny for letting me use.
Oh yeah, your friend's phone.
Because there's like some dirt in this one. But I'll just go through these. So.
Oh wow. And those are all potential songs right there.
A lot of them, like a majority. Yeah, I'm still going all the way. So I literally have my very first voice memo I ever did, and it was 2014.
Wow.
So I have all of those. Are like they're ideas. They're also like when I do sessions with people, like we'll have to like record the sessions, but it's mostly just like ideas.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot to be done.
Love it. Well, do you have any final words for the room, Alex?
Thank you so much for joining us. Ashley, thank you for having me. I had a great time. Go stream my music. There'll be a lot of new stuff soon. Everyone be safe and be kind.
Yes, be kind. Please, guys, if you don't already, please make sure to follow Alex on Instagram, Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music, YouTube.
All of it.
All over. TikTok. He's going to be on, you're on TikTok doing some fun things.
I did like my first 3. 2 of them are just me shoveling snow off my car for the first time. Bachelor. It's a treat for sure.
Oh, I love it. And guys, if you don't already, please make sure to follow me. I'm Ashley Live. This is Vibin with Ashley Live. And I have incredible musicians just like Alex on all the time. So thank you guys for spending your Saturday with us. Stay safe, be nice, listen to good music. And that is it for the evening.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you. Bye.